Wednesday night, we're all in sight. 9 o'clock, it's shining bright. Turn the dial and feel the might. Just enough Heshy takes flight. Woo! Laughs and wisdom side by side. Heshy show won't be denied. Tune in live and ride the tide. Feel the rush and feel the pride. It's just enough Heshy. Wanna vote for Heshy? It's just enough Heshy. Join the crowd, it's messy.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Just Enough Heshy show. While my Instagram fans had to wait for that 1 minute video playing on YouTube and Facebook and the other things, you guys can hear it. I'm going to try to figure out a way for you guys to hear it one day. Welcome to the show. Welcome to YouTube and Facebook fans. And soon we're going to have a couple of live radio stations join us. As you know, and it's very exciting, I was there backing Trump all the way. I'm so happy of the election results. I'm happy that the country hasn't gone crazy, even though Mayor Adams says he's going to control it. All of a sudden, all the riots and all the illegal stuff that was been going on and people being violent and criminally active and illegal protests, all of a sudden, for an election, he's going to control them. How are you going to control? Who are you going to control? The Democrats, the Republicans? Which way it's going to go? I hope you're going to control them because there should be no violence. And there wasn't violence last time when Trump lost. He didn't accept the election results. But, somebody was telling me this week when I met them, Heshy, you're not so exciting. You're not so fiery anymore. Let me explain to you something. I'm really, when I go to different speaking events and places that I go, I stand there nicely, quietly. I listen to people's problems. I help people when they're in trouble. I come up with ideas. I go to job sites. You have to be able to sell your product, pitch your thing. So when you see me screaming and hollering, that means it's really gotten to the point. Even when I get angry with the police, and I'm very angry with the police lately. I've been checking them out lately, and I'm having some issues, and I'd like to tell you about it. Not to defund the police, and not to control the police with stupid reports, but something is wrong here that this blue wall is only for the blue wall. I understand they have to protect themselves, but you have to protect us too. And you can't play this game of protecting yourselves and then double-crossing us and switching sides. I know a couple of police officers that have retired, and they just, wherever they can make the money, they'll go from one side to the next side. And it just happened to me this week. Now, I don't believe that there is a conflict of interest. If you work for one side and they mess around, you can help the other side, but you don't screw the first side you were helping to begin with, unless they did something very bad. But sometimes money corrupts. Sometimes money makes you do wrong things. I've been doing this a long time, and I've worked on myself of conflicting, and every morning I get up, and I'm angry at the world, just like the rest of you. I'm angry at the world. And you know why I'm angry at the world? Because I'm not happy with so many things that go on. I'm not happy the way when they went after Trump. Letitia James, again, she went after Trump again. She said, I don't care that he won. We're still going to go get him. Understand, the man wants to be president. We need him. We 72 million people have said that we want Donald Trump as president. We want him to run the country. What is she going to do now? She's going to cause issues to mess things up and what? Make him run the country from jail? Are you joking? For what? For bribing a hooker? And this is what they're going to do. They're going to try to cause trouble. Mr. Trump can pardon himself, but except for these stupid 34 felony counts. And the only one that can pardon him is Hochul. And she's not going to do it, but she's running for re-election. And she's going to need stuff in New York City. and Mayor Adams is under indictment, and President Trump can pardon him, but again, he's got to be able to deal with it. Anyways, I'd like to welcome to the show our listeners from WSNR. Welcome to the show, 6:20 a.m. WNEW 102.7 FM, HD3, New York, Metro New York, and WJPR 1640 a.m., Miami, Florida. Welcome to the show. And yes, Florida, you are great for Donald Trump. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And you know what? I predicted 2 weeks ago that he would win 63 to 36%. Okay? I just want to tell you something. As of this evening, the electoral vote, the electoral college was, I think it was 200 and, let me say, where is it? I have it written down. I wrote it down. It was 294 to 223. He had to win by a big margin in case they tried to cheat. He had over 72 million votes, even more than Biden. 72 million votes. Now, she had like 62 or 61 or 64, so he crushed her. Even if they tried to cheat, this is what he needed, and this is what I told you. And yesterday when I heard the results coming in and people were calling me and he's going to win and she's going to come back, I already called this race at 9:45. And the TV show should have called this race at 9:45 or 10 o'clock or 10:15 or 11 or 12. Finally, Fox called it at what? 2:15 a.m. And you know what? MSNBC and CNN, they were just in shock. They couldn't do it. They finally called it at 5:15. This is the way we're running this country of people think they can control us. We need to stop them. We need to stop them from brainwashing you. You know, I really do. Every week I tell you that. You're brainwashed. You watch CNN. I actually believe CNN when I'm watching them for like 20 minutes. Then I turn to Fox right away to clear my mind, and I believe Fox. But then I say to myself, if I almost believe CNN, why would I believe Fox? And I want you to know something. We have to stop being brainwashed. America yesterday decided to wake up. It went through, you know, the Republican Party is now the party of the people. It's changed through gender, through race, through sex. They've changed, but they're not going to give in to transgender men playing women's sports. I don't believe we should be giving them operations. Welfare is good when you really need it. And you have to prove it. And you're right, the red tape in this country is so bad that people will fall between those cracks who need the welfare and the special services. How do I answer that question? Some people take abuse of it. Some people will not take abuse of it. Some people won't have to work. Even President Trump said, right before I start with the regular stuff, said, I'm going to let immigration continue. I'm going to let people in this country, but legally. You have to be vetted. You can't let murderers and rapists in. You have Venezuelan gangs. Here, hate crimes alone in New York City up 106%. Rapes up 32%. And you're telling me crime is down. Today they found somebody on the subway carrying a machine gun. A machine gun going on the subway. And you know how they got him? Because he trespassed somewhere and the police got him and the machine gun fell out. Really? And the machines, you know, our metal detectors, the special machines, a failure. Hello. My friend Christopher Messi joined our show today. Hey, Chris. We are so happy. Did I not call it? Did I not tell you, Chris, that Trump was going to win? America is great. The transfer, I only don't, you know, Harris's message never had a message. When she was on The View, they asked her a question, and they love her at The View. And she couldn't answer them. She couldn't tell them that Biden was wrong. And she said that I'm going to change it on the first day. You were there 4 years. It's not like President Trump was there and he left and he can blame himself or say, you know, I made mistakes. Harris is in power. Why aren't you fixing it today? Harris messed up. And now I heard today Joy Bayer talking on The View. We should protest. I'm not happy about the results. I understand you're television people. You're getting on there to tell the people to do bad things or maybe be ready to do bad things. Why? Why can't you have a good outlook that America will get better? Why can't you have a good outlook that 72 million people said that Trump can change the economy? It will get better. The market jumped up. The man is a professional. He told you what he's doing. So he told it to you in a crass way. He talks straight. He's not one of these politicians that go sideways, and I do the same thing. Now it's my turn, ladies and gentlemen. Now it's my turn. My election is going to come in January. That's when the mayor calls it. Mid-February, we'll do the voting. I'm going to do the Trump style. I'm going into city council to scream at them. I'm not going to let them play the political games. They might stop me like they want to stop Trump. Like Letitia, I mean, let's be honest with each other. They went after him for a hooker. I mean, you have people going on the streets all over New York City and you're not arresting them. Or when you arrest them or arrest the hookers, you let them go. Hey, you got a guy for paying a woman out of his own pocket, not even campaign funds, to be quiet for some stupid guy? And you charge him 34 counts? He's a billionaire. He could buy 50 women. And these are the things that bother me. Letitia has so much to do. Crime, hate crime, murder, robbery, bank robberies, fraud, cyber fraud. And this is what she's busy with. Trump. Let us run the country. We just went through 4 crazy years. We went through a year of a crazy election. People were, I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted. You know, towards the end of the race, they said, Trump is tired. Oh, that man is a ball of fire. Of course he's going to get exhausted. He does 3 states in a day. I get exhausted. I'm running and working 16, 18-hour days. And then when I do these political events, like yesterday, I had to drive to Lakewood, New Jersey to a wedding. I had to drive to Queens to another wedding. Of course we get exhausted. Of course we need a break. And then we go back to work the next day. And he's 70-something years old. Which 77-year-old man could keep that pace? And I think he's great. I'm not trying to build him up on his personal level. People make mistakes. They're entitled to chances and second chances. Anyways, I'm hoping my producer laughs at my joke. But first, I'm going to start with a quote. And Mr. President, if you listen to my show or hear this quote is for you. Really, the quote is for all of you people. Black Beauty, Christopher Messi, and all my listeners out there. This is a quote, and I heard it from somebody, and it actually got to me. And I try to bring this quote up. I save it in my thing, and I try to listen to myself say it many, many times. And here's my quote: "It's not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how strong the man that stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust, sweat, and blood, who strives valiantly, who comes short again and again and again, but in the end, he may know that the triumph of high achievement, and when he fails, he does so daringly, greatly." And the basic idea is on this quote is that even if you fail, you got to keep trying, and you can fail again and again. I don't agree with failure. I don't agree that you should be allowed to fail. But don't be scared to go for something big and fail. Because if you win and you score big, wow. People make fun of me all the time when I run around campaigning and talking to people at events. You failed, you lost the election. Why are you running again? Because I need to. It's I was told this week. I was in synagogue. I'm going to be speaking to my rabbi, and he said to me, endorsements are wrong. Why are religious organizations and people endorsing politicians? Go get the people's vote. Talk to the people. What nerve does a religious organization have a right to endorse a politician? For what? So they can get some money or feedback or kickback? Is he so great that he needs to be endorsed? I mean, we're endorsing President Schumer sometime. I mean, Senator Schumer, for what? For hating Israel? And one time he was supporting Israel. He's not religious man who has done very bad things in the past on his personal level, and these synagogues are saying he's so great. No. No. You either follow the rules or you don't follow the rules. You follow the commandments or not. Yes, we hired you to do a job, Schumer. Do your job. Besides the president winning, we won the Senate. Very, very powerful. Very, very important. And my producer's back, so I'm going to say the joke so he can laugh with the laugh machine. We won the Senate back. Very good. We won to what I understand, we got the House. Now President Trump, for the next 2 years, has no excuse. You're right. All of you Americans out there, all you listeners out there, you're right. President Trump has no excuse to get not only his policies in place, but to fix this country fast. And I'm talking fast. So yeah, I'll be watching President Trump as well. I'll be watching myself. I'm hoping that President Trump even pardons Mayor Adams. He can pardon himself on all the federal stuff. And I hope he gets rid of that Smith idiot. What a loser, you know what I mean? And I hope this Judge Eileen Collin, whatever, who dropped his charges, I want her. And I heard the gossip is she should be the Attorney General. She should be moved there because she understands the laws and compassion. And RFK, here is a man who's going after the vaccine people. Thank you. Thank you. Everybody says, oh, he wants power. He doesn't want power. He's upset about the vaccines, and President Trump is going to let him go after them. What this idiot Fauci loser did. Anyways, I gave you my quote. I want to tell you a funny joke. By the way, I have another little quote. It takes courage to live through suffering, and it takes honesty to observe it. I have suffered a lot, not in my personal battles, you know what I mean? Of course, everybody has gone through their daily things. What bothered me about Harris was, we grew up poor, middle class, my mother struggled, single woman, we had to buy a house. Hey, man, that's not an excuse to be president of the United States, not an excuse to be councilman or mayor. I was raised by a single widowed mother since I was 13. Okay, I hung out with my mother for 40-something years, 47 years. A little bit less. And I want you to know something. No excuses on our end. We lost it all. We fought back. There is no reason not to be educated. There's no reason not to go out and work every day. We could have done the welfare and the food stamps and all of that when it was taken. You want to hear excuses? I got a pile for you. Miss Harris, I'm not saying you're a bad woman. I think you weren't qualified for the job. Am I right, listeners? Am I right, YouTubers? She wasn't qualified for the job. Somebody says that YouTube gives a warning about something, so it looks like they're coming after me. But I want you to know something. She did not have her economic policies in place. She did not understand immigration. She did not understand basic. I actually heard her say that everybody should be woke. What does that mean, everybody should be woke? What does that mean, everybody should be left? New York's, I don't mind that every state has to decide abortion, but now they push Proposition 1. I mean, it's like stupid. And then we have this Hasidic Jew who somehow keeps getting elected back in Rockland County, and he pushed people for it. He voted for Harris. We have a guy by the name of Ezra Friedlander. He's a straight out Democratic leftist Hochul Biden voter. Now that Trump won, he posted a picture from about 25 years ago when his hair was still dark, how he's going to help Trump or work with Trump. This man voted for Biden. For Harris. This guy's a straight out leftist person who takes money just for whatever issue he can go for. He actually helped the Iran-Contra deal. Somehow, his synagogue that he's building with 12 people that pray there for $4 million. Where'd you get that kind of money? Are you putting up your own money? Somehow he's getting something. And I'm not saying anything bad. He's taking money under the table. But maybe he is. There's no way that these people can do certain things without making certain deals, without giving their endorsements. I don't want your endorsement. I want the people's endorsement. Yesterday, Donald Trump got the endorsement of the American people. We are American citizens. This is the greatest country in the land. And I'm proud. I'm proud and I'm happy that Biden and Harris will do a peaceful transfer of power, and so did Trump do it. Here's my funny joke, because I've been too serious. I hope I was fiery enough for you. Where's that Beryl character? Anyways, here's my joke for you. I was a teacher as a kid, a fourth grade, for 8 and 9-year-olds. This goes back when I was I was going through school. I was 19, 20, and I was discussing with them the commandments. It just came up. And I said, one of the most important commandments is to honor your father and mother. That's what I told him. I said, you have to honor your father and mother. And I want to ask you, what commandment teaches us how to treat our brothers and sisters? And one kid raises his hand and says, "You shall not kill them." Brothers and sisters fight, so you want to kill them. I think that was funny. Play that laugh track, you crazy producer. No? I thought the joke was funny. I think I'm going to make a list of all my unfunny jokes that you think is unfunny, but I laugh at my own jokes. That's what I like. Thank you. I want to give a shout out to my beautiful Mira Nava, Sergeant, that was my granddaughter, Layla Tamar, Sergeant Peter, Ellie, my granddaughter Ahuva, my grandson Benjamin Hill, and my grandson Yeshua. He's over 2 years old, and you won't believe it. I pick him up now because my granddaughters moved to Jersey. So I can't pick them up anymore, and I'm a little depressed about that because I get very few minutes to spend time with them. He's saying the time is running out. The time is not running out. I'm going. Anyways, I'm looking up. Oh, I have to do the advertisements. Let's do an advertisement. But I want you to know Yeshua started talking, and he's talking to me in the car. He's so cool. Anyways, Green Line Building Solutions, my company, and I'm helping people every day like I'm helping somebody tomorrow with a stop work order inspection and another one with a vacate inspection. And my son was so proud of me. He gave me a client. I did an impossible inspection for that guy. Green Line Building Solutions, 718-871-0382. We help you with your violations, your stop work orders, your plans, your permits. I take your phone calls for free. I give you advice. I try to guide you. And if you listen to me, you listen to me. And if not, 718-871-0382. We're located in Brooklyn, 202 Forster Avenue, Brooklyn, New York, 11230. Just call Green Line Building Solutions, 718-871-0382. It's on my YouTube screen and whatever. And then, of course, my favorite guy. He was in my office today. He's just a great, good guy. It's called the Estate Exchange. He was really in my office today, I swear to you. Fine jewelry, real estate pieces, specializes in exchange of fine metals. He's located at 5303 12th Avenue, Brooklyn, New York. 5303 12th Avenue, Brooklyn, New York. 917-721-0119. 917-721-0119. www.nyc-gold.com. Again, www.nyc-gold.com. I don't think you need www. The only reason I'm a little angry at him because Linda was chilling with me in the office today. And he goes over to Linda and he tells Linda, you need another pair of earrings. I said, get out of my office. Are you crazy? I'm broke. Anyways, HeshyTishler.com. This is serious now. I'm so close to the finish line, guys. I need the money. HeshyTishler.com. $10, $20, $30, $40. Are you listening to me, YouTube? Are you listening to me, Mr. Messi? Come on. I'm joking with you, Christopher. I love you. HeshyTishler.com. $10, $20, $30. I'm ready for the campaign. I have my budget ready. I have my team ready. I'm only ready for the special election. I know there'll be another election within our election. That's the way it goes. So HeshyTishler.com, again, donate $10, $20, $30, $5. I need that money. I'm so close. I can only spend a certain amount, and I'm ready. I want to be able to crush them. My election will be called now that the election is over of November the 5th. Mr. Kalman Yeager, our thing, becomes now the assemblyman. And he should vacate his seat, but he's going to hold on to it till December 31st just to make sure that somebody finds a competitor against me. And they're looking. They're looking, Mr. Felder, they're looking for Barry Spitzer. Wacko community board. Now you're going to say, Heshy, you're talking bad about your future competitors. I don't mean to talk bad about them. Not, people say I talk bad about their families. I don't talk bad about my competitors' families. I might make a joke about them, but I don't. I'm talking bad about Mr. Spitzer, who shut down a block of my Maimonides hospital, especially during COVID. They helped Mayor de Blasio lock us in our houses till I showed you. Not only was I right about President Trump, I was right about COVID. 100%. I'm not telling you that I'm smarter than the rest of you. I'm telling you I use common sense. And America yesterday used common sense. Mr. Ringel, another winner. He was the mayor's aide. Then he became, they talked him into running against somebody who, whatever, cheated on his wife, Mr. Schwartz, and to knock him out of, to be district leader. Then he has no money. So they gave him a DOT job. The man is not qualified DOT. He's not qualified to work in the Department of Housing. He has no experience whatsoever in construction or anything of that nature, but they gave him a job as a commissioner or something or whatever it is so he can make $120,000, $150,000. I don't even know how he lives on that with all his children, but the point being is that here's my point. They're playing games with us. These guys are not qualified for the job. They don't know how to do budgets. They don't know how to help our city. I had some guy, they shut down, in my neighborhood, they shut down over 30 blocks. And I'm fighting with them. The other week, they told on a holiday that we parked our cars. There was a 3-day holiday, so we parked our cars in the streets. So what did the city do? They sent these private contractors into our neighborhoods on the holiday. God forbid they would do it Christmas or Thanksgiving or Kwanzaa, but they came over here because the Jews didn't say a word. They towed our cars, parked them 10 blocks away, 3 blocks away. People didn't know where they were. Digging holes in the street. And what did they do, Mr. Ringel? Zero. We called Ringel. We called Spitzer. We called all of them. And then people called me, and I went to fight it out. I went to stop them. And then 1 or 2 people on certain blocks said, you know what, Heshy? We'll speak with them with you. And if they go away for the weekend, we'll leave it alone. If they go home early or if they only block one side of the street, people get excited. We have illegal bars all over the city. Now, I have no problem with that. My problem is they could be licensed. If they follow all the regulations. And it's easy to do regulations. You don't have to run an illegal bar. Put in a sprinkler system. You're making so much money. Don't have to be cheap. So, these are not the speakeasy times of the 20s. So what happens is, but just to get regulated, and I know to go through the system could take 6, 7, 8 months. I'm going to court tomorrow on a HPD eviction. Now, I'm working for the city now. We've already been trying to fight with these people for over a year. And tomorrow we might only be able to make a deal. A year they haven't paid rent. A year. Because the city, they gave them some lawyers to be able to trick their way into the building. We had no choice. And to get them, and they don't have to pay. They don't have to pay. And they're not qualified because they can't fill out the programs fast enough. And I'm trying to help them. But they don't care. Then they sublet their units out. People could commit crimes and you can do the right thing. You can get a job. You have to fill out the paperwork before you rent an apartment. You have to figure out your budgets. Everybody goes through a bad time. But there are ways. There's the one-shot programs. So many. talking $119 billion. I was reading yesterday, this campaign of presidential election. Do you know how much money they spent? Does anybody know YouTube? Do you know anything how much they spent? $15 billion. $15 billion. You're looking at almost more than 10% of the entire New York City budget. Almost 10% of the New York State budget on a stupid election. Really? I don't know what to tell you. The New York State Lottery, where you buy lottery tickets, since 1970-something, collected almost $100 billion for education. Really? I wish I could see that $100 billion being spent. I don't believe it for a moment. I bet you there was a cut there, and somebody took there, and $100 billion. And our children are dummies. Now everybody's saying that when Trump comes into power, he's going to cut education. I believe he's not. I believe what he should be doing is with the federal funding is saying, look, guys, why give it to the public schools? Let's give it to the private schools. Here, parents, you can't keep the money, but if you enroll them in a private school, you can spend the money that way. That's it, because private schools actually teach them, help them out more. They give them special teachers and shadows, yes, but they're not actually educating. They're just wasting our time. There are some good teachers like my nieces. They're both in special ed. They both actually work hard to take special needs children. But I've seen a lot of others that take advantage of the situation and don't do anything. Again, I repeated to you the other week, just to get your special needs kid money could take 5 years of going to this board, and they don't care. When you hire a lawyer to sue them, then they give up and they only give you the basics. They want you to fight. They want you to have a lawyer. By the time you're done, you're broke. Red tape in this city is no good. And I'm going to repeat to you, what can Heshy Tischler do? I'm not going to pitch my campaign. I'm going to tell you straight out, one of 51 instead of one of 6 million or 8 million. I can go in there and scream and holler. I can be transparent. What can Trump do? Really, Mr. Trump can't do anything. He's one person. He has the most power. He's the final decision maker. But the point is, he needs people to help run the CIA, to run the FBI, to help him with trillions of dollars in budgets. The only thing that excites me is about this whole campaign now that President Trump is president again. He promised to stop the war in Ukraine. I'm excited. I gotta see it. I gotta see it. That would be the ultimate. I don't know what to say. The word exhilaration of this whole crazy, wild year to see a war end. I want to see just a couple of months or years of no war, of no strife in this world. People helping each other. You know, the Jewish people believe Messiah is coming and it's got to be bad before it becomes good. I don't believe that. And everybody's saying Trump is bad and Harris was bad. I believe God is testing us. He's given us, since the 1900s, sanitation, letting us live our lives longer, better food. Better food. By the way, you can all call into the show. 646, I don't know the number. I lost the number. God help me. I got it, guys. I got it. Call into the show to ask me any questions. 646-974-1580. 646, he won't pick up anyways. 974-1580. You know, God, I'm not going to preach to you, God, and I'm not. America is America, and America is so great. But God made our lives better. And before he gives us anything bad, and people do get punished. What should I do? That's life. You do get hurt. There is death, there's sickness, there's illness, there's disease. But he's given us so much opportunity to get better. Medicines, even though a lot of these pharmaceutical companies are abusing these medicines and they're over-medicizing you. But I do believe in medicine. I do believe healing. Holistic healing is stupid, really stupid, guys. By the way, I've been working on the Ozempic and I lost over 100 pounds. I hope you all think I look great. But I'm stuck at a certain weight and now I'm juicing. And I told all of you about this. I actually weighed myself and I've lost another 11 pounds on juicing. Every day I make Linda a juice and it cost me like $10. I buy an apple, a pear, a blood orange. I put lemon in there, a lime, celery, a cucumber. I then carrot, a little honey for taste, and ginger. It doesn't, and out of there I can make 4 to-go cups, and I give Linda a cup and a half, and I take with me 3 other cups. I drop off my son, I drop off for my partner, I drop off for my friend over there, and and it actually works. You really only need celery, cucumber, pineapple. I forgot I put the pineapple in there, but I do different fruits throughout the week, like a strawberry I throw in there or a blueberry to change it up a little bit because you don't get sick of it. I use oat milk, and sometimes I use water. Always put in ice. You can ask me for the recipe. I promise you, it's helped me. I don't know if it'll help you, but I saw it on the internet. It actually works, and it's healthy, and it really is filling in the morning. And plus, I make Linda every morning an avocado, red onion, a tomato sandwich, and I toast the bread and I cut off the edges, and she likes that while I'm doing the laundry for her. Anyways, yes, I love Linda. 36, how many years is it? Wow, 34 years. I'm sorry, 36. Look how lost she made me. I have a few other topics I'd like to get to, and I know you all want to talk and you want to hear about the president. Mr. Trump, Donald J. Trump, President Trump, is going to fix the economy because he's a businessman. You're going to see how much more business comes into this country, how much more he's going to not allow our jobs to leave the country. If you want a job now, you can get one. If you want to make money, you can get one. If you want to be an entrepreneur, here it is. He'll let you do it. He's going to build the economy. He's going to look. Everybody says, "Oh, eggs, big deal, $2, $4." I have friends traveling blocks and neighborhoods to get a $4.50 eggs down to $2.50. Now, just remember, you have a family of 4. You're using a package of eggs or 2 packages of eggs a week. $4, $5 times that by 4 is $20. That's $300 a year. Gasoline. Another $20 more a month, that's another $400. You know, I was talking to my son. Everything adds up. Everything adds up. And if you can put that $20 away or buy 1 share of stock every month, that's what I do. I've been buying 1 share of Google stock every week. I buy a share of Halliburton, by the way. I've been buying BlackRock, because I know they're a big crooked company, and whenever I actually have an extra $1,000, I buy it. I have quite a few shares, not a lot of shares, but I have quite a few shares put away. I have 14 shares. But because I don't buy, that's a very expensive stock. So I buy 1 a month if I'm able to put away money. Me and Linda struggle for that, and we usually fight. We can buy 4 Google shares out of that. But the point is, that's what you should do with your extra money. You know, when you have extra change, buy something that you can put in away for the future. You don't have to buy a mutual fund or a CD account or invest it. Invest it in something that you can be liquid tomorrow morning. By the way, brokerage accounts. But again, the interest rate comes down and up. In a secure AAA rated stock, yeah, it's safer. It's better that way. And I'm not giving you any pictures or things. And I have so many other things I would like to tell you about. I hate Lester Chang. Michael Novikov and Joey Saban neck and neck. And they said Michael Novikov won the election. Now they're saying Joey Saban won the election. He's a Democrat. I like him anyways. And just one more thing. And I'm going to take my caller. MSNBC, CNN, you should be ashamed of yourself. You should have called the election right away. You are in shock. That's my point to you. Anyways, hello, caller. Heshy, you're on the phone with Heshy. How are you? Who's calling? Hello? I don't hear nobody.
Yeah, hi.
Hi. You got to shut off the radio.
Yeah, I'm turning it down. Yeah, hello?
Yeah? I still hear you radio in the background. Okay.
Yeah. Hello, Heshy?
Yes.
I can't hear him.
Because you have your radio. Yeah, hello? Can you hear me? She can't hear me. Okay.
Yeah, I hear you now. Heshy, you were talking about this, what they're doing in the streets and towing the cars.
Yeah.
On my block, they're doing it for the 3rd time since August. And they're digging up the same spot. And they're towing the cars just the same. They're doing it over Yontif. They did it over Sukkot.
Yeah.
And it's driving everyone crazy. But I'm calling about something else.
But before you go on, before you go on something else. Before you say something else, not only are they digging up the streets over and over again, they have this $500 million contract. But what bothers me the most is do 1 or 2 blocks at a time. Why isn't our councilmen and our community boards controlling them? They shut down 30, 40 blocks. The traffic is so crazy. Today, in front of my house, to drive 10 blocks took me actually just to get to my office, 10 blocks. Took me 25 minutes.
I called the councilman, by the way.
Yeah, he didn't pick up your call. Did he pick up your call?
My neighbors and I, we have a new problem. Well, after they do this and they turn off your gas and everything, so then they insist that they have to come in your house and see if your stoves are working. But they only go into the kitchen to see if the stove is working. But when the weather got cold and we tried to turn on the heat, all my neighbors, we all had this problem. The heat wouldn't go on because they had turned off the pilot light and they had turned, and there's a certain, what's it called? What's that thing called? There's a certain thing on the heating system that if you turn it off, it could break. It cost me $700 to get the heating back on.
And you should sue them. You could sue them. They're a private company. But you know what?
My neighbor, it cost $400.
Yeah, but it gets even worse than that. If they come in there and they say you have a leak, they won't even put your gas on, and it can cost you $1,000 or $2,000, or go to an architect because you have leaky pipes. They're going to say you have to pull a permit. That could cost you $5,000. This is wrong what they're doing out there, and they're not. Half of them are not even licensed licensed plumbers. They should have a licensed plumber on staff. They should show their ID. I agree. That's something that I'm going to stop with these contractors. The other day
there's nobody overseeing them. I spoke to the councilman. I said, who in the neighborhood is in charge to see that what they're doing? Because the first digging was the gas company, right? But they had somebody from the gas company, another company, but now they have a resurfacing or something company. Well, they must be making a lot of money because they did the streets, they dug it up and resurfaced it, and now this week they did it again, the same spot.
I know. Thank you for your call.
But they're not. They're not doing anything with gas pipes.
I have one question for you.
Just breaking up the sidewalk.
I have one question for you. Did you actually speak to the councilman, or you spoke to somebody in his office?
No, I spoke to a very reliable person that works in his office.
I got that.
I complained. I asked, does anybody know what's going on? Anybody in the neighborhood that's in charge to see what's happening here?
Well,
he says, not really.
Right. Thank you for your call. I just want I want to go on with the show a little bit, but thank you for the call. And this is my point too, that when I run for councilman, we need you to be able to speak to the people in charge. We need you to be knowledgeable. We can't let people come into our neighborhood and do whatever they want. And the councilman now sees what's going on, and he says he doesn't know what's going on. And I've been complaining about this all along. When you call the councilman's office during the hours of 9 to 5, he should be able to pick up the phone. You're right, he can't take 5,000 calls, but there's email today. And I do email my councilman and the assemblyman and the state senator, and they don't reply sometimes for days or week. I just got a reply from the community board from September. I just got a reply now from September. Incompetence. They don't care. It's just out for their salary and their own selves, and that's my problem. And I'm not going to complain about the cops now, but I'm going to complain about them. The big blue wall, how they're all blue brothers. Yeah, they take care of themselves. Every once in a while, they screw each other, but they don't take care of us. I don't see their compassion on the street. You're right to hear a lot of troubles and headaches, and they've got to go from one problem to the next problem. Don't be a cop. That's what the cop does. Cop has to hear troubles. He's like a psychiatrist. He should be trained better. He should be able to deal with issues. This is what a police officer does. But the thin blue, the big thick wall, the blue wall, I love the cops. But either there's not enough of them, and we need them on the trains. A shooting on the train, a stabbing on the train, a shooting on the street. This is my neighborhood or around my neighborhood. Let's take another call.
Heshy, how you doing, brother?
How are you? Christopher, how are you, Christopher? I love you, my brother. I miss you. You promised to take me out to dinner.
My cheeks hurt from smiling and my knees hurt from dancing today. It's been a phenomenal day for America.
I know, really, and you know what? Look how calm it is. I mean, but they're trying to heat up the woke people, these Joy Bear and a lot of these big people. They want rioting in this country, and I'm so proud that the people. You know how many he got? Over 72 million votes. He has almost 300.
There's nothing to riot about. We won.
Yeah, and we won fair, super fair. But my question to you is, Christopher, will I mean, everybody's telling me and everybody's calling me, and I have questions online. Will he take away our rights? Will he abuse the rights? That's number one. Or will he actually be the president that just has to run the country, not be involved in a lot of people's personal lives?
Not only is he going to run the country, but I am delighted to report that I've already spoken with members of the transition team, and they are excited by the book that I wrote about the federal budget and how we need to slash the government down to size. All of the comments Elon and Vivek have been making for the past month or so, that comes straight out of my book that we talked about on your show when I was in Brooklyn last.
Beautiful.
We are going to chop this government down to size and make it work for the people and get the government out of our lives. And all these leftists who are screaming about, we support democracy, what they mean is they support a continuation of an unaccountable bureaucracy, an unfireable, illegally unionized federal workforce, 80% of whom are going to be fired and out of a
Good.
job
Oh,
before the
thank
end
God.
of the first year of Trump's
And
office.
I'm hoping President Trump fires the head of the CIA, the head of the FBI, the head of the I mean, right across the board. And I believe half of those workers should be resigned or thrown out. Will Elon Musk be part of the new administration?
I've got no idea. I mean, if Elon had half a brain, he'd call me and say, "Hey, you take over this. You've been working on it for 15 years." But as long as the rationalization of government occurs, as long as we abolish. Right now, there are 2.2 million federal employees outside of the military.
Wow.
That number needs to be about 400,000. So there are about 1.8 million people that got to go. We got to get rid of this stupid idea of allowing public sector unions. It's going to be a marvelous moment. If we do this right, we have 12 years of continuous rational Republican rule, and we can fix this country in the first year and make it hum like a beautiful machine in the next 11.
I believe a lot of people have asked me, can Trump run again because the 2-term limit is it made for 2 consecutive terms? And the answer is no.
No, it's 2 years. That's it. It's fine.
No. We know he's older, and we know he's old. He's not going.
That he made.
Right.
What's that?
No, we know that he's old. He's not going to run again. But is he allowed to run for a 3rd term? The answer is no.
No. 2 terms. That's it.
No. But
when
when America was first created, there was no such thing as term limits, and only you had to be an
Correct.
American and an age limit of you had to be 35 and older, or 35.
Correct.
I think it was. So the 2-term limit came into effect when they created the 22nd Amendment. So it does say you can't do what you. It said 2 consecutive terms, but it also stands for that.
Yep.
Once you serve more than 6 years, you cannot run again for president, or 8 years. You're allowed to do 2 years, 4 years, and 4 years, but you can't do more than that. So if you are 3 year, if you took over for president, so
he's got no reason to run again. This is it. I think this will turn out to be one of the most successful presidents in this country, and it's going to be because he came in the first term. He was frankly surprised and unprepared for what has become known as the deep state, which is just the permanent bureaucracy who don't care who's in office because they feel right now they are completely protected by unionized work rules. He didn't understand that when he's in charge, that the people that supposedly work for him would actively try to sabotage his administration. They did that. Well, he learned from that.
I hope so.
He spent 4 years fighting for us while these idiots weaponized the judiciary against him. And having gone through that, he has a crystal clear vision of the people he's got to bring in. The people who are bringing in for the transition team are all private sector. There's no more, quote unquote, from the government. And the reason the Democrats are losing their minds is they realize that payback is a bitch.
Right.
And they attack this man mercilessly. Now it's time for them to lose.
We've got to make a lot of changes, and Schumer's got to go, another idiot. But here's a question for you and for all my listeners out there. He's president. They're going after him still. I mean, they actually don't want him to run. You see, Letitia James is telling us we're going to go after him anyways. I mean, we're just going to sentence him to jail. I mean, are they just stupid? I mean, he didn't kill anybody. He didn't rob anybody. They're just crazy. I mean, it doesn't end.
They're insane. If these idiots truly, I mean, and that moron will be talked down because that truly is the stuff that sparks civil wars. You got an idiot attorney general in New York who ran on an unconstitutional premise that she was going to get Donald Trump. Never said for what, just said she was going to get Donald Trump. And she was elected for that. And the New York State taxpayers have paid millions of dollars. And since most people don't understand the law, they don't understand how things work. I mean, tell your listeners if they don't know. Alvin Bragg and Letitia James and Kathy Hochul and the Democrats, the Department of Justice, tried to turn literal minor bookkeeping mistakes into felonies. So when they tell you he was convicted of a felony in New York, no one else in the history of America has been convicted of a misdemeanor, never mind a felony, for a bookkeeping mistake. So they've gone far out on a very dangerous limb, and if they're dumb enough to try to put in prison the man that 77 million people just arrested, it's not going to happen. It's insane. But if the Democrats are that dumb, that is asking for civil war.
No,
that's
but
insane. It's completely insane.
Forget the Civil War thing. What I'm showing you is that they want to ruin this country. They want us to go down.
Of course they do.
They're looking. I don't believe there'll be ever a civil war in America. I don't think we're going to ever be like in the 1800s, 1860s, brother against brother shooting. Yeah, we have crazy people from time to time, but I know America is a great peaceful country, and I just
yes, it is. Which is why they will never let her get there. But given her own instincts, this idiot is so stupid. Letitia James is so stupid. She actually thinks she could push forward, have this corrupt Judge Michon sentence the president-elect to prison, and she actually believes it would happen.
Yeah.
She's that dumb.
And Hochul has the power to pardon him. If she was smart, she would. If she was smart, she'd make a deal. Now, look, you're president of the United States. New York needs you. Let's make a deal. But you know what she's going to do? She's not going to make a deal. She's going to make New York suffer. She has a re-election coming up in 2 years. She's going to make us suffer. Yeah. I know that the next time she has if you think Harris was dumb, I speak to Hochul. This lady is dumb. Listen to some of her news conferences. She's getting practice now that she's in office, but really this one. Yeah. And I posted a video.
But she's the one that's still spending money
right
on appealing a Supreme Court case that told her that she's not allowed to create concentration camps to lock people up who she thinks might have a head cold.
And we now see proof in an article. Proof that this witch, the New York Post reported that she and that pig, Cuomo, actually targeted the Jewish community. It's not that he targeted the Jewish community, but he targeted a specific community. He could have gone after the black people, and that's what they do sometimes. They send certain police officers after different communities, and you don't even know that. I seen this behind-the-scenes stuff. People ask me, Heshy, how did you know about the presidential election? Did you just guess? How did you come up with such numbers? I'm listening to people. I'm talking to people. I hear things. I go to different neighborhoods, and we see what we're doing. And we're talking to police officers, we're talking to the people. Sometimes we target certain communities or areas. We are anti-Semitic, we are hateful, and we could do better, but it's our politicians that allow this to happen. They hype it all up. I don't know.
That's why another fine reason you've got to get under the city council.
I know.
But there's something gone supremely wrong in a portion of the nation's brains. Right, that Trump derangement syndrome is real. The fact that they can get up there and spout all this madness about Trump. He was president for 4 years. I don't recall him locking up his political prisoners. I don't recall any of this. Right. And they're screaming and yelling about this as if it's self-evidently true. They're so deranged. They believe this. Nothing. I do say I've had a delightful 36 hours watching the maniacs at MSNBC and the rest of them.
Right. I love it.
Lose their minds.
I know.
And has been joyful.
I'm so happy, but they're gonna find, and I believe that what they, we got the House. To what I understand is we won the House anyways. We won the Senate, but it's not that.
Yep.
I believe that if they had the opportunity, they will impeach him again. You know how they were pitching? Oh, he was impeached twice.
Of course.
He was not impeached. It was not found guilty. Yeah. You can't hold this against him. And they were pitching it. He's impeached. Mr. Clinton should have been in jail for all the stuff that he did, and in the White House he was having sex in his office when anybody else, if you had sex in your office, you'd be fired in a moment. This man, and he lied to the country too.
Get out of control here.
Well, he lied to the country too. My point, what I'm saying to you is that it's we gave you a job, but Chris, we gave you a job. They gave me a job. You have to control yourself. You have to be a leader. You have to be a role model. And I'm hoping that I could be a role model and I could be a leader. I want to. We have another minute yet to go before my people on the radio go off the air. But Chris, this great country.
Brother, it's a great day in America.
It's a great day in America, and I believe that. But the only thing is I hope on the first day he gets into office, he pardons everybody from the January 6th. He pardons them.
Of course, instantly. It's madness as they're sitting in a DC jail. When is your election? I thought it was, so it didn't. You weren't.
No,
on the ballot yesterday.
No. Kalman Yeager he won the uncontested the assembly seat, and now he's supposed to vacate his council seat, but he's going to hold on to it till December 31st to find a competitor.
Right.
Once he vacates, which he must, that's his last date, December 31st, the mayor has between 3 to 10 days to call a special election. So we have 2 weeks to collect signatures, and then we have 2 weeks later we have a election. So my election will be either the mid-February or the beginning of March, which will be the first day of collecting signatures for the next election. But I'm ready.
Right.
I'm ready, and I'm ready to win. And you're going to see, I'm excited. I believe that the Trump thing, once he gets elected January 20th, will bring some momentum to me. I believe as a Republican that it'll make me do good. And I want to say goodbye to all my listeners. Thank you for listening. WSNR Radio, 6:20 a.m. Tune back in next week. 7:10 a.m. WNEW 102.7 a.m. FM, and who knows, WJPR in 1640 a.m. in Miami, Florida. Thank you for listening to the show. Guys, I want you to know the last few minutes, and Christopher, I want to tell you something. I knew it. I forget that I felt it in my bones. I was excited. Like you said, the man learned the game. They said he's an old man and he's tired. The man kept going, and he put in a full day's work, and he kept going to court. Yeah. And you say that, I mean, if a man who could do and the whole country watch this, he deserves to be president just because of everything he went through, not even if he's qualified. And the same thing with me. I'm working my 18-hour days. I fight for the community. I fight for the city. The police tried to arrest me again, and I laugh at them because we know our rules. We know our Constitution.
What the hell were they trying to arrest you for this time?
The last one was just a corned beef sandwich, and also I was protecting a neighbor against another neighbor, so the police detained me because I was going into the house and I didn't want to answer questions or show my ID. So I had to quote the law. And I laughed at her. I said, like, you even think for a moment. But I'm not going to give in to them. I'm not going to let their bullying to them. You know, there was
hell no.
Yeah, well, I'm only one man. But when I get in there, my dear friends, and Christopher, be on the lookout. I'm ready to go. And don't forget, guys, HeshyTishler.com. I know I keep pitching you. I want the money. I'm so close. You want me to win. This is the way to win. And I'm not taking endorsements.
My donation is coming immediately.
I love it. But I want you to know, I don't need endorsements. I don't mind if they endorse me. My endorsement is to the people. The people know who I am. I was in the polling sites. People came over to me, asked me questions. I've been in the streets. I've been at their places. I have people coming to my office for constituent services. I am here for you. And I'm telling you now, when I do get to be city council, Christopher, there won't be a 9 to 5 shift. My shift is going to have 2 shifts. Nope. I'm going to have a morning shift and a night shift. So my city council will be able to deal with emergencies in the middle of the night. And if it's something really important, they'll be able to reach me wherever I am. I'm also not going to abuse the system. I'm going to make sure that we have, if my workers think that they're going to work from the house, in my office now we have people saying, I'm going to work from home. I tell them no. Yes, if you're not feeling well and so on, I let you work from your house because I don't want you to lose your pay. But there is no working from the house. You've got to come in, and if you decide that you're not going to come in a lot, I don't care what city says. You're fired. You're fired. Your job is to take care of the people if you're in city government. I don't know. I'm not going to let the system. You're going to see me put in my 18-hour days. You're going to see me fight for you. You're going to see me pick up your calls. You're going to see me on the street like people see me now. They take pictures of me and they stop. I'm friendly. That's what a neighbor is. That's what a city council is. This lady that called before. I couldn't reach. I spoke to somebody very nice in his office. Very nice in his office means that nothing is getting done. Nothing.
There's no one. Exactly. Now that's an really good example. But yeah, no, I'm looking forward to help your administration in any way you can. There are a lot of ships that need to be righted in this country, and I think the trimming that's going to start at the top.
There'll be a
bringing back personal responsibility and a respect for everyone's community. It can be done. You know, people are saying, "Well, that's pretty crazy. That's never worked anywhere. No country is managed to do
Well, I'm losing you, Chris. I'm losing you. So we're gonna say goodbye to you. We're gonna say I'm gonna say goodbye to my members of the show. Chris was great, and all of you could call into the show anytime and say whatever you want. I don't know, something's going on with my internet on my Instagram. I'm sorry. So I have two different Instagram accounts, and I think the main one was good, but the little one wasn't that good. I apologize to you guys. We're ending our show now, but I want you to know something. Come back next week, Wednesday. I had so many different subjects I really wanted to discuss, but we'll get to him next week. But all I'm going to tell you is the main issue, Mr. Trump elected. I was right. I know you let me get into city council. I'm going to make changes. And if not, I'm still going to keep fighting for you. I'm enthusiastic about the next 4 years. At least for the next 2 years, I'm enthusiastic. I believe in Mr. Trump. I believe he's going to do great. And I love his family. I'm proud of him being my president. And I'm proud of you Americans for coming out to vote. Wow, 140 million people. It's still not enough. You know that, Chris. It's still not enough. We have 300 and something million people in this city and this country. Why didn't we have at least, I would say, it's not even half that came out. We should have had at least 220, 300 million people. Why are we waiting for the migrants to be able to have the right to vote? We Americans should be the one to vote.